Welcome everyone and thank you for joining us today as we dive into one of the most surprising and mind-bending discoveries in the world of modern coin collecting, a topic that continues to shock even seasoned experts and inspire treasure hunters across the globe as we explore the unbelievable story behind the 2005 1-cent coin that has been speculated, rumored, and celebrated for the possibility of being worth as much as $6 million due to a combination of rare errors, unusual striking conditions, minting anomalies, and mysterious production quirks that have made collectors wonder whether a simple penny from this year could actually hold the financial power of a luxury estate, a yacht, or even a lifetime of security for the lucky person who finds one. And today we are going to unravel every fascinating twist, every strange detail, and every potential scenario that contributes to this astonishing valuation, beginning with the way the 2005 1-cent coin emerged during a period when the United States Mint was transitioning through multiple phases of die wear, press adjustments, blank preparation techniques, planchet quality variations, and machine maintenance cycles that created the perfect storm for rare errors to occur, starting with off-center strikes, which in 2005 were reported in small but notable quantities due to mechanical timing issues that caused the planchet to sit slightly askew when struck by the dies, resulting in coins with Lincoln's profile misaligned in subtle or dramatic ways. And while typical off-center strikes might be worth modest amounts, the extreme examples where the date remains fully visible despite major misalignment are the ones that can skyrocket in value because collectors rely heavily on visible dates to authenticate error types. And this becomes especially important in the 2005 series because certain misalignment patterns are believed to correlate with a possibly defective batch of die holders that produced irregular pressure distribution, causing even more abnormalities such as broad strikes where the collar failed to properly contain the metal and allowed the coin to spread out past normal boundaries, creating warped rims and unusually stretched devices. And when you combine off-center strikes with broad strike characteristics on the same coin, you enter a level of rarity that drives collectors into bidding frenzies, pushing values far beyond typical price guides and into the territory of once-in-a-generation finds. And that is only the beginning because the 2005 pennies also saw a number of double die anomalies, not necessarily as bold as the famous 1955 or 1972 double dies, but subtle and complex enough to intrigue specialists who study die deterioration doubling, mechanical doubling, hub doubling, and even rotational misalignment doubling, all of which create unique distortions around the date, lettering, and Lincoln's features. And although many examples of doubling in 2005 are minor, there have been whispered reports from collectors, dealers, and even auction observers suggesting that a handful of dramatic double die pieces exist but remain largely undocumented, probably locked away in private collections or yet to be discovered by someone sorting through jars, boxes, or inherited coin stashes. And the mystique of unconfirmed high-intensity doubling adds to the speculative value of the hypothetical perfect 2005 error specimen that could fetch multi-million-dollar bids if proven unique and extraordinary. And then we move into the realm of wrong planchet errors, an area where the 2005 pennies become even more interesting because transitional planchets, leftover blanks from previous years, and misfed blanks from foreign coin production have occasionally appeared in multiple modern years. And although verified foreign planchet errors for 2005 Lincoln cents are extremely scarce, the possibility alone fuels fascination because if a 2005 penny were struck on a steel blank, a copper-based foreign planchet, an experimental alloy, or even an improperly prepared zinc core blank resulting in abnormal weight, color, or density, the rarity could leap to unimaginable levels, especially when paired with other errors such as weak strikes caused by insufficient die pressure, which produce ghost-like images of Lincoln's face and faint lettering that look almost ethereal. And this leads collectors to believe that certain poorly struck examples might originate from improperly hardened dies or malfunctioning presses that created coins with thin reliefs and incomplete impressions. And while weak strikes alone might not command massive premiums, a rare combination of wrong planchet plus weak strike plus doubling plus off-center placement would create the kind of one-of-a-kind marvel capable of reaching values you usually only hear about in record-breaking auctions for coins like the 1943 copper penny or the 1794 flowing hair dollar. And speaking of high-end valuations, we must also address die cracks, die breaks, cuds, and die chips that affect the 2005 series because these imperfections occur when dies fatigue or fracture, creating raised lines or blobs of metal that appear on the struck coin. and while die cracks are fairly common in modern coinage, the size, location, and uniqueness of the break can dramatically influence value, especially when forming dramatic images or patterns that collectors nickname based on shape, such as cracks that resemble lightning bolts, smile lines, or crown-like shapes around Lincoln's head. And in 2005 some of the most intriguing die break patterns appear around the reverse lettering and along the edges of the Lincoln Memorial columns, creating visual irregularities that some collectors find captivating due to their organic, naturally unpredictable formations. And the rarest of these errors occur when the die break becomes so large that a chunk of the die face falls away, producing a cud, a blob-like structure that obliterates part of the coin's design, making each cud coin truly unique. And because cuds cannot be replicated exactly, large ones are treated almost like artistic signatures created by accident, and a massive cud combined with any of the earlier mentioned errors would elevate the rarity to extreme levels, thereby increasing the theoretical value into millions of dollars if the right collector saw it as the pinnacle of modern error collecting. And this brings us into the particularly fascinating area of plating anomalies, because 2005 cents, like other post-1982 pennies, are composed of a zinc core coated with copper plating, and when that plating process goes wrong, you get a series of incredible mistakes such as split plating where the copper layer cracks or separates, exposure of the zinc core that causes dark spots or gray patches, blistering where gas pockets cause bubbles to form on the surface, peeling where sections of copper flake away, and even situations where the plating is missing entirely on parts of the coin, revealing raw zinc and giving the coin a two-tone appearance that looks almost experimental. And extreme plating errors are highly prized because their unpredictability and visual impact make them stand out instantly. And if you happen to encounter a 2005 penny with major plating loss, severe blistering, or bizarre textural effects combined with structural errors such as misaligned dies, cracked dies, or double dies, the compounded rarity could result in a specimen so unusual that collectors would compete fiercely to acquire it, pushing its value into the speculative multi-million range that inspires headlines and fuels rumors online. And the theoretical $6 million valuation becomes even more believable when you consider that coin collecting markets operate not only on rarity but on narrative, provenance, and the emotional response of collectors who want to own the rarest piece of a particular year or category. And if a truly extraordinary 2005 era penny exists, the kind that brings together multiple minting mishaps in one extraordinary artifact, its story alone would amplify its price, especially if accompanied by documentation, expert authentication, and bidding wars among high-profile investors, museums, and private collectors seeking to outdo one another. And then we must consider that modern coins with extreme errors are often thrown away, lost, or unnoticed in circulation, making surviving examples, even theoretical ones, unbelievably rare. And this scarcity, combined with ongoing interest in modern mint errors, fuels speculation that a singular masterpiece of minting chaos could exist from the 2005 production run. A coin so bizarre and so loaded with anomalies that it transcends normal valuation and enters the mythic tier of collectible artifacts capable of commanding millions. And it is this possibility, this tantalizing potential that keeps people searching through their pocket change, coin jars, rolls, and old savings containers, knowing that somewhere, hidden in the mass of ordinary coins, a $6 million error penny might be waiting for someone attentive enough to spot the minute details that transform a simple everyday object into a life-changing discovery. And that is why the legend of the 2005 1-cent coin continues to grow, fueled by speculation, rare error theory, market psychology, and the undeniable excitement that comes from the idea that a tiny copper-colored coin, often overlooked and undervalued, could hold the key to financial freedom for the person who recognizes its significance and understands that in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are not flaws but treasures, accidents are opportunities, and every minting anomaly tells a story that collectors are willing to pay dearly to own.